ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ అండ్ మీడియేషన్ సెంటర్ హైదరాబాద్లో ఆరంభమైంది. మరి దీనివల్ల ఎవరికి ఎక్కువగా ఉపయోగం ఉంటుంది? ఈ సెంటర్ వల్ల రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ రంగానికి ఒనగూడే ప్రయోజనాలు ఏమిటనే విషయం తెలుసుకోవడానికి పౌలోమి ఎస్టేట్స్ రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ గ్రూప్ ప్రయత్నించింది. ఈ క్రమంలో ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ అండ్ మీడియేషన్ సెంటర్ రిజిస్ట్రార్ తారిక్ ఖాన్ గారిని ప్రత్యేకంగా కలిశాం. మరి ఆయన పౌలోమి ఎస్టేట్స్ రియల్ ఎస్టేట్ గ్రూప్ షోకి ఇచ్చిన మొట్టమొదటి ఇంటర్వ్యూలో హైలైట్స్ మీకోసం.
రెండు పార్టీల మధ్య గొడవ జరిగితే పరిష్కారం కోసం కోర్టుకెళితేనేమో ఎంతకాలం కేసు సాగుతుందో చెప్పలేని పరిస్థితి. ఇలాంటి సమస్యల్ని పరిష్కరించడానికి హైదరాబాద్లో ఇంటర్నేషనల్ ఆర్బిట్రేషన్ మరియు మీడియేషన్ సెంటర్ ఫైనాన్షియల్ డిస్ట్రిక్టులో ఆరంభమైంది. దీనిమీద ప్రభుత్వ కంట్రోల్ ఉండదు. సంస్థల మధ్య తలెత్తే సమస్యలకు సులువుగా, వేగంగా పరిష్కారం లభిస్తుంది. ఇందులో జాతీయ, అంతర్జాతీయ స్థాయిలో నిపుణులైన వ్యక్తులు ఆర్బిట్రేటర్లుగా, మీడియేటర్లుగా వ్యవహరిస్తారు.
IAMC stands for International Arbitration and Mediation Center. This is one of a kind center that has come up in Hyderabad, and it was initially founded by Shri N.V. Ramana ji, who is also the former Chief Justice of India. It was his brainchild, and government of Telangana was very keen on having a center of this kind because it is very important to attract investment in the state when you are promoting arbitration and mediation as dispute resolution mechanism. IMC is a center which resolves disputes between commercial bodies usually, and it can be of various kinds, either by arbitration or by mediation, which are not from the usual court like traditional courts. These disputes which are being resolved in a timely manner, which is very fast and expeditious, and it's also very efficient, and it makes the whole process very cost effective for parties. So to give you some examples how IAMC can help, one is of course the corporates and the business in the state and the country which are struggling to get their money back or to resolve their disputes. IAMC can help them in that manner if they approach IAMC to resolve those disputes so that they don't have to go to the court for resolving their conflicts. The other way is that MSMEs and many other family issues between a husband-wife, or even if it's a small dispute between an employer and employee, IMC can resolve these kind of disputes by mediation, and this is how IMC is actually trying to make a difference and resolve disputes in the society. IMC is a public charitable trust. It's more like a not-for-profit organization, and IMC has trustees who are responsible to add credibility and integrity to the institution. The trustees are Honorable Justice L. Nageshwar Rao, who is a former Supreme Court judge, Honorable Justice R.V. Ravindran, Honorable Ms. Justice Hima Kohli, and the ex officio is the Honorable Chief Justice and the Law Minister. Now, these trustees don't work for any money or for any kind of remuneration. They are only there to advise and guide the institution. They cannot be appointed by the center in any manner, and they are there for the guidance and to be the face to add credibility to the institution. Then we have a governing council which consists of international experts from across the globe who are experts in arbitration and mediation, and they advise the institution from time to time in implementation of the rules of IAMC. So that is what the role of governing council is. And then there is secretariat, of which I am the registrar. I am heading the institution and administering disputes here with a team that works and help me in administering these cases which are coming to us. There are two ways in which we can be of help. One is that when you are entering into any contract, all you have to do is in the dispute resolution clause, you put that IAMC clause which is available on our website, and if you put that clause, then tomorrow if any dispute will arise between both the parties who have signed the contract, automatically the dispute will come to us. So that is one way IAMC can be used, where you put our clauses in your contract, be it arbitration clauses or mediation clauses, wherein you say that if a dispute will arise, IMC will resolve those disputes. The advantage is then nobody will take you to the court. If a dispute will happen, the matter will be resolved by IMC itself. The other way of doing it is that if there are two parties who are fighting over an issue or over a subject matter of property or between each other, what they can do is they can simply write an email or approach the IAMC saying this is the issue. But any party can approach us and say that we want to resolve this dispute by mediation and we want IAMC to step in. We are charging a very nominal fee of 5,000 rupees which is the filing fee. And once you pay this fee, we will then approach the other side and request them to do the matter by mediation. If they consent, then the mediation will start in the matter. If you talk about arbitration, the mandate of the law is 1 year and 6 months, that is 18 months. If there is an arbitration dispute, then 18 months is the timeline in which we are resolving this at any cost. That is the endeavor. And till date, it has not happened that we have not really been able to finish a matter in 18 months, which is an arbitration. And I'm confident that it will not be done. That's why we are here. The other thing is that in mediation, we try to follow a strict timeline. Our endeavor is to finish it in any case within 3 months, but 2 months is what we look for ordinarily. Whether the matter gets settled or not gets settled, we get to know in 2 months' time. That's our endeavor. Unless the stakes are very high where, sometimes it takes little more than 3 months. And we recently settled a big matter where the stakes were very high and which was going on in court for a very long time, but we were able to resolve this in mediation. The beauty about arbitration and mediation is that I cannot disclose the details of the parties who have approached us because this is completely confidential. Another reason why parties prefer IAMC and come for arbitration and mediation is because corporates and parties do not want anybody to know about the dispute. And that is when they choose arbitration and mediation, because whatever happens in a closed door gets settled like that and nobody really gets to know what happened. So confidentiality is the main reason why parties choose arbitration and mediation. But what I can tell you is that we are currently administering disputes of about $700 million, which is the total value in dispute. And we are also catering to the micro, small and medium enterprises in the state. And we are doing it at no cost to IAMC. So more or less it's like a pro bono matters being handled so that the MSMEs in the state benefit and they don't become sick industries. Some of the disputes have already started coming and we are resolving it at no cost. We are also trying to do something with other tribunals so that the society at large benefits. And we are happy to resolve the small value disputes at no cost so that justice can become more accessible for the lower strata and for the people who are otherwise not able to achieve their objectives and procure justice in cases where they are genuinely affected. But the nature of disputes that come to us includes a lot of corporates have approached us. We have got testimonials and support from a couple of corporates in Telangana. There are a couple of international disputes which were approached, and we are currently administering certain mediations where few international parties are involved. So the strength of the number of cases currently we have is about 33. So this is what we have been able to achieve in a short journey. Arbitration basically is nothing, but it is outside the court settlement. Instead of going to the court, what you are doing is you are resolving your dispute in a private setup where there is a judge who's called an arbitrator. And arbitrator is essentially a person who will then resolve the disputes between parties after hearing both the sides. Now, if you have an arbitration clause in your contract, then the court will not be able to entertain a civil suit. Naturally, you will have to come to the arbitration institution or the arbitrator to resolve it. And the good thing about arbitration is that it is more affordable. The timeline is 1 year and a half months. In courts, you don't know how much time it will take to resolve a matter. But in an arbitration, you can finish the whole dispute in maximum 1 year and 6 months, which is the timeline defined under the law. And otherwise, it is pretty much the same. Just like in a court, before a judge, you are giving the evidence, arguing the matter. You do the same thing in arbitration, but in a private setup, it is confidential, cost effective, and the award, which is the judgment which is passed, it is as good as a judgment of a civil court, and you can enforce it in the court of law, just exactly like a civil decree. There's no difference. On the other hand, mediation is a process where two parties try to resolve their disputes amicably with the help of a mediator who facilitates the negotiation between both the parties and try to ensure that they arrive at a settlement and the matter is not going to the court and they're able to peacefully resolve it so that relationships between the parties are maintained and the matter also gets resolved. The good thing about mediation is that it is much, much more reasonable than arbitration and court, and it's very cost effective and the timeline is short. Some mediations have also settled in 2 days or 3 days. So that's the beauty about mediation. But nobody can force parties to be in mediation. They can walk out the day they want to. So it's completely party-driven process. For arbitrator, the test is simple. What we see is the amount in dispute and the background nature of the dispute. So if it is a construction dispute, our preference would be to appoint somebody who has that much relevant knowledge about the industry and somebody who has some experience of doing arbitration, and of course, integrity and credibility of the individual. It can be a retired judge, it can be a senior advocate, or it can be somebody who's an expert in that particular industry. We also make sure that we do a conflict check before appointment so that there is no bias or no angle of any kind of prejudice against any party. Same we do in mediations. We appoint people who are trained and who have the experience of doing mediation and who can actually make a difference and resolve the issue. I think the most useful IMC would be is to real estate and to construction and builders, buyers. For example, if you talk about RERA, so in RERA you have a provision under 32G which talks about facilitating conciliation between buyers and builders disputes. I think IMC can do excellent job there. We can do conciliation in such kind of cases. The other thing is that in most of the construction dispute, where Hyderabad is a hub of construction, and what we have seen is that in contracts you see arbitration clause being put, and most of the arbitrations are happening in construction disputes. I think that is where IMC can make a great difference. If these matters are resolved through IMC, they will make it very cost effective. We will appoint arbitrators who are experts. We will ensure that the dispute gets resolved in a very timely manner, sticking to deadlines, and the person who's an arbitrator is also somebody with the relevant background and experience. Because what I have been told is that when matters are going to the court for appointment of arbitrator or for any other reason, it is taking years. And nobody in any construction business or real estate business can wait for that long when their money is actually involved in a project. So I think in these cases, arbitration and mediation would be very, very effective. And IAMC will be able to provide them a platform to resolve these disputes, either by mediation or by arbitration in a very timely manner and in a cost-effective manner. We have been doing a couple of workshops. We have done a couple of training programs with some of the best trainers in the world to come here and train people in Telangana. We have also started doing a mentorship program wherein young law students from Telangana are benefiting and connecting to the world at large. We are providing them mentors for free. We are providing mediation and arbitration courses to young lawyers at no cost virtually. And we have also been trying to do a lot of capacity building exercises where we are training different sectors within the state, including bureaucrats. We did a training for all the police officers. We are planning to do something for members of RERA as well, a sensitization program. There was IMC has also provided faculty for some programs where members of judiciary were also present, so that they also get sensitized to mediation. So at the end of the day, we are trying to target each and every sector to create an ecosystem within Telangana, so that Telangana looks like a state which is having all the ways and having a robust dispute resolution platform, so that investors also get a message that this state is taking dispute resolution very seriously and will resolve our disputes effectively. Got good response because CII has been actively working with us. We just recently did an event with CredI Hyderabad. We are now planning to again, get into some kind of collaboration with other trade bodies. FICCI, for instance, did an event with us last year. And we are trying to closely work around all the business communities and involve more and more industries with us, so that we are able to benefit them and we are able to resolve their disputes at low cost. And that's how the overall economy will have a boost. More than that, what I'm also happy about is that we are getting support from the other stakeholders, not just limited to these, also from the public sector undertaking, and we are also getting support from different departments of the government. But my plea is that more and more of you can come join us. This is your center, and my request and message is, please feel free to come to us. If there is any dispute, we'll be happy to help you. And our facilities are available at no cost, which is very negligible if you will compare with other facilities. And we are also trying to help industries in a very, very cost-effective manner, more affordable than court or any other institution that you will come across. So please approach us. We are very approachable. You can visit the center whenever you want, and we are always there for you.
So how is the Telangana government support?
So government of Telangana, the support that has been given initially is that they have given us the facility, and that's the only support that the state of Telangana has done. And also there was a plea from the state government to help the MSME sector especially, and the lower strata people to resolve their disputes at no cost. And now we are working in that direction, so that the state also feels that the center is doing something for them. And that's why we are resolving the MSME disputes, and we'll be continuing to do that for the state. And we're very grateful to the state government for all the support that they've offered. One thing our trustees were very clear about is that IMC should always remain in Hyderabad, and Hyderabad should become the hub of arbitration and mediation. I think the reason is that the government is very progressive, the people are very supportive, and this is a place which is a hub of investment, fastest growing city in my view in the country. And this is where the opportunities lie, this is where the businesses are investing. So this is where I think Hyderabad only could have stationed a center of this size and having the vision just like Singapore and many other progressive nations. So I think that's why IMC could not have been any other place than Hyderabad.